It's right there. Just let me know when you're ready for it. And after you speak, then I'll tell you.
Who the heck is this guy? What's happening? All right. Me? Mike is live, by the way. Are you really one of them?
Correct. Second.
Football? Rolling. Where'd you train at? Mississippi.
All right, guys, let's get started. First of all, I'd like to thank each and every one of you that came out. This is a very special moment for our Parade of the Parks. We chose this park specifically for what the mayor is about to talk about. Parade of the Parks program is something we've been thinking about for a while. We decided it would be a good opportunity to bring the community in to garner support for our parks department and their local community parks. And the reason that we chose this one, it's going to be very special when we get to it. It may be a while from now, but once you see the new sign, it's no secret that this was known as the Madison Street Park. It is now renamed as the Lewis Fry Community Park. With that being said, I'll pass over to Alderwoman Valencia Hall, and then we'll go from there. Thank you so much.
You're welcome. Thank you, Mr. Porter. I want to welcome all of you here today for this great honor for the Fry family, the Davis and the Fry family. And it's, as Mr. Porter said, it's very fitting that we began with this park, Madison Street Park, and we will continue with 5 more parks along our Parade of Parks celebrations and unveilings of our wonderful work that we have done in our Parks Department. So I'm going to now turn this over to Mr. Mayor, Mr. Dan Gibson. Thank you.
Thank you, Alderwoman. Thank you. It's good to see everyone today, and what a beautiful day. And I am glad that we are having it today. The weather is much improved from where we were a week ago. And what a great week we are experiencing in Natchez, not only weather-wise, but with our balloon festival coming this weekend. So many things to celebrate. But today we celebrate the benevolence of a family in Natchez that has meant so much to us and to our community. You know, a long time ago, people in Natchez started giving of themselves, understanding that it's not just on the backs of government to do the good works, but it's rather an opportunity for our citizens to be involved in blessing. In fact, in just a little while, Ryan Miller, our Director of Parks and Recreation, will share more about our Friends of the Parks, and I'm sorry, Ryan Porter, and we will have an exciting announcement of ways for citizens to get more involved, to do things to help spruce up our parks, starting here at Madison Street. But this park is one of 6 parks. And 3 years ago, we took an inventory of these parks, and we found that they were in need of some TLC. And so here we are 3 years later, and about $3 million later, when you add up the money set aside for so many improvements, from bathrooms to new playground equipment, to also renovations to the North Natchez Youth Center, soon to come the Duncan Park Golf Clubhouse, and also the almost ready to reveal new tennis courts at Duncan Park. So many other things, baseball field improvements, and what we're seeing today, great new playground equipment that's safe, and our children can enjoy all of this great new playground equipment now for many years to come. In doing this, we discovered that some of the signage for our parks also needed updating. And we've been working on updating that signage, but we had to make sure that we got the wording on the signage correct. And it's there that we discovered an omission. In 1932, a local businessman by the name of Lewis Fry and his wife Regina, as I explained a minute ago, sharing their love for Natchez and wanting to give back to Natchez and to the citizens and to the children of Natchez, donated this piece of land that we're standing on today. From 1932 to this day, this has been Madison Street Park, as Alderwoman Hall said. But today, we rededicate it in honor of Mr. Lewis Fry, his wife, his family. Here with us, we have Walter Davis and his wife, Leah. And they represent this beautiful family. And it's not the first time we've celebrated a donation by this family. You may recall that just a few years ago, we celebrated the donation to the city of the Fry Building, which is now a part of the plan for the future development of the Eola Hotel. And Mr. Davis just asked me, said, I have one question. How's it coming with the Eola? Well, I can tell you that as of today, with the last infusion of cash, the pre-development plan for the Eola Hotel is now fully funded and off and going. That means the architect, engineers, interior designers, and all the other components to get us to a March or April start date. Great things are happening in Natchez, but great things are happening because of the generous Fry family. And Mr. Davis, Walter Davis, we're going to have an unveiling right now because this is a moment I think has been long in the making. As we've said, better late than never. And so as of today, this is no longer Madison Street Park, but rather this is all right. Walter, why don't you get on that side? And let's just see here. Help us out there. It's hung up. There we go. Lewis Fry, Madison Street Park. There we go. Walter, would you come and share some remarks?
Sure. Thank you all for coming. It's been 40 years of my work to try to get a mayor. I went through some mayors in my duration up here, one being the guy that's standing right over there named Tony Burns. Another thing that the city asked me for was the donation of my house so that they could make a movie with Muhammad Ali. Well, Tony calls me on the phone in New Orleans where I'm working, says, Walter, how about letting the city use your house in Natchez? I said, for what? We're going to make a movie. I said, no, Tony. I said, I'm tired of getting used. It never gets returned right. He says, if you don't, I'll condemn all your property. I said, when will you like to move in the property? And that's a true story from Tony. Now, the next story that happened with this property was when Butch Brown was the mayor. I came to Butch and I asked him when he was running for mayor if he could do the same thing here. He said, no, we're not going to do it. I said, that's fine. And I went through 4 or 5 mayors to get it. And then finally, after Butch and I had our little out, because Butch turned around and sold about 10 feet of the property to the property owner next door without me knowing about it, and it was wrong, and Butch and I had it out on that. But we're now down to where we have a mayor that cares, a mayor that wants to do the right thing for the city of Natchez. And without that, without good leadership, like they say, without a good head, a snake will die if you cut it off. Well, now we have a good mayor that cares about Natchez. Thank you all.
God bless you. Walter, thank you. Thank you. Walter, I'm going to ask if you will stand here. Leah, we have a presentation to make, but Leah, would you like to share a few words while you're here?
Yes.
We're so grateful you're here.
It's delightful to see families and children out playing in our city and at a safe place. my understanding from reading old family letters and all is Mr. and Mrs. Fry donated this during a time that urban parks were very popular because people in cities, the children did not have safe places to go and play. Their parents would be working, and so the trend was to have a safe city park and places for children in neighborhoods to come and play when their parents came home from work. So it's a great day, and I'm looking forward to the parks and the park and recreation development. So thank you.
Thank you. Thank you. Well, we have a special presentation to make, and so Ron Porter, if you'll come up here with me, and we're just going to have right here in Alderwoman Hall. Come on, we wanted to give you. You've got to come over here. I'm presenting it to you.
So she was getting taken.
You know, she's our witness. She's our chairwoman, actually. You know, we could have given anything, but we thought you've been waiting so long for the sign. So why don't you have one to take home with you?
It'll hang in my house. Thank
There you go. Beautiful. Let's get a picture. Let's get a picture here.
Leah? You get out here.
Perfect.
Thank you.
Thank you.
This is a happy day.
You bet.
I'm about to turn it back over to Ron, and before I do, you know what Leah said is absolutely true. Isn't it wonderful to see our children playing and having such a great place? We will have our parade of parks continuing tomorrow and through the next few weeks, and so pay attention to those dates and times. We will be at North Natchez Park tomorrow. But as I said, you know, and it is always such a pleasure to see Tony Byrne, former mayor of Natchez, over there. Tony, I think people were about to clap for you a minute ago when Walter was sharing the story. I'm clapping for you now. We appreciate you. And before we do turn it over to Ryan, I actually want to say this, and then I'm going to hand it back off to Alderwoman Hall, and then she will bring Ryan back up. It is a community that cares that makes a difference. And we know that as many improvements as we've made, we have more improvements to make. And so be prepared. For instance, I'm looking at a chain link fence that needs painting. And I imagine there are some other things that need doing, and we are going to be looking for volunteers who would come out on a real pretty Saturday and pitch in. The city will provide the materials, but let's get our children engaged. And I don't care if they get paint on their clothes. Parents, just let them wear old clothes. But I think it'd be wonderful to see our children have fun, investing of their time and their talent and their energy, because this is, after all, not just our park, but for the children of Natchez, it's their park. Now, I'm going to turn it back over to our Recreation Chairwoman, Alderwoman Valencia Hall.
Thank you, Mr. Mayor. Before I turn it back to Mr. Porter, I would like to state, Mr. Mayor alluded that the tennis courts will be christened soon. I would like to state that Mayor Tony Byrne, Jim Leslie, and Dr. Grimion, and Dr. Stubbs christened our two new tennis courts last night. So thank you very much. And I also like to thank Mr. Porter and Mr. Johnson for all the hard work they have done and are doing in our parks. Thank you very much. And we hope to have added men or women to our department to help with that. And Mr. Porter will now talk to us about the Friends of the Park program.
All right, thanks again for coming out. Before we talk about the Friends of the Park, please drink some lemonade and eat some cookies so I don't have to pack that up and take it with me, because I will eat and drink every bit of it tonight. The question has already come up, what is Friends of the Park? That's a great question. We don't really know yet. The question should be, what can the Friends of the Parks become? We plan on allowing this to grow organically. Right now, we're just asking for support. There are several ways that you can do that. You can scan the barcode with your phone, the QR code on the banners. We also have it on the signs, the placards here on the table, and we have some paper copies for people that aren't very tech savvy. That's going to take you to a Google Forms sign-up sheet. You're basically going to add all of your information, phone number, name, what park you live closest to, which parks you frequent the most, what amenities at each park you enjoy, and what you're willing to do moving forward, whether that be helping us get support for the program, or getting your clothes dirty and painting, or doing some light gardening, or helping with youth sports and activities, or helping plan and design new parks. There's always something that can be done. I will say right now, the guy standing back there in the green shirt, Adrian, and I are the only two people in this department. We cannot do it alone. This man has been here since before I got here. We've had two people leave since then, and if he weren't here, none of this would happen. So let's keep that in mind, and let's do what we can to help each other out. Does anybody have any questions? I also want to say each of these, okay, so this is the parade of parks. We're going to 6 different locations, and that's to kickstart our Friends of the Park initiative. At each park, we're going to have honorary captains and or co-captains. We thought that it was a good idea to have some people from I'm not going to put you on the spot, Kathy. Don't worry about it. Unless one of you guys would like to speak about your experience in this park. Okay, well, these guys live right up the street on Madison Street. They've taken several generations of their kids to this very park. So who better to I'm not going to put you on the spot if you don't want to talk. Okay, give a few words.
I just wanted to thank your guy over there because this is my second grandchild that I've been bringing here. My other one is 16 years old. So we've been coming here a very long time. And we appreciate the work that goes into keeping it, nice and safe. So we'll do whatever we can to help out. But
Awesome.
Thank you.
Thank you so much. Please drink the lemonade, eat the cookies, enjoy your time, scan the barcode, fill out some information, and we can move forward. Thank you so much.
Thank you. Thank you, Ryan. Ryan, we have to do one more thing.
Okay.
This is a place where our children play. And it's a place where families can have such wonderful time of renewal in a city that truly is experiencing renewal. But that would not be happening were it not for the blessings of our Father, who always, every day, shines blessings down upon us. And so I would like to have prayer. And if you could, just grab a hand, and I'll be happy to lead it. Father, I thank you for this happy day. And I thank you for this circle of wonderful people who care about Natchez, who care about our children, and who are doing all they can to make safe and wonderful places for our children and our families to enjoy Natchez. I want to thank you for the generosity of the Fry family and the continued generosity of this generation, Walter and Leah Davis and their family. Father, truly today is a day of new beginnings for us here. And we ask your blessings at Madison Street Park, now Lewis Fry Madison Street Park, and all of our parks. Keep our children safe. Continue to breathe joy and happiness, prosperity, and love into our community. In your precious name, amen. All right, now we can go. Thank you. Enjoy the lemonade. Walter, come back up here.
Yeah, we're going to do whatever I'm doing.
Thank you.
We're going to try our best. Even though my next one will be in Poland for 5 months. He's still not yet over here. I'm 16, but... We did. And about earlier was before they built these houses. When we were little, you know, with my grandparents right there, this is where we would play tag football.
Hey, Mike,
Then,
would you take a picture just